Worth a fortune, these.
Who is the painter?
Who is the painter? Priam Farrel, of course.
Oh, that one?
That one. He gets £1,000 for the flick of a brush. Fortune he makes.
My word, for these?
Is this Priam Farrel an Englishman?
Yes, but they say he never comes here. No one ever sees him.
They say he's shy, always in hiding.
My name were Priam Farrel. I wouldn't be in hiding.
How much do you think that would cost?
Oh, exhibit.
When are you returning to America, Mr. Witt?
Tomorrow. Wish there was some way I could meet Farrell.
There isn't. I've been his agent for 15 years, and I've never met him.
Strange man.
Wise man. He lives his own life.
These, my boy, were painted by your famous cousin.
All of them?
Oh, this isn't a tenth of what he's done. He simply spawns paintings.
Big pardon. Are you related to Priam Farrell?
I'm his first cousin.
Could you tell me where I might find him?
I doubt if anyone could tell you that. I haven't seen him since he was a child. Even his bankers don't know him.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
This is the Farrel exhibit.
Thank you so much.
May I show you about?
Oh, please don't trouble.
Trouble, I assure you. Now,
Aren't your cousin's paintings wonderful?
Yes, Papa.
Isn't that one particularly fine?
Yes, Papa.
this is his most famous painting. The Policeman.
Nice, isn't it?
Nice. Why, it's worth thousands.
Dear, dear. Fancy a policeman being worth all that. I suppose you know Mr. Farrell well.
Me? I have never even seen him. No one has.
I know his secretary, Mr. Lee.
You?
Well, that is, I don't exactly know him. I correspond with him. He writes nice letters.
That's the way I got married.
I beg your pardon?
The Matrimonial Times. Is that the paper you use?
Really, my dear man,
There's no need to get touchy. It's as good a way as any.
Did yours turn out well?
Well, she has a bit of a limp, but she's jolly.
Where was he when you last heard?
His last picture came from Spain.
You can't dream what these few weeks have meant to me. I've wanted for years to know you.
Oh, really, Lady Helen?
You don't know how great you are. How simple.
Simple?
Unpretentious, unaffected, like a child. If only we could be together always.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Really? Do you mean that?
Oh, why, I mean...
Glorious. I'll take you out of your shell. I'll take you out into the world where you belong.
No, I'm afraid of the world.
Oh, not my world. You love my world.
No, I won't. See, I can't bear being noticed. People terrify me. Well, I've always been like that. Of course, you can't understand.
There,
but...
dear, there. You'll get over all that. I'll help you.
No,
Oh, Mary.
Oh, good afternoon.
Mary, the most wonderful thing has happened. Should we tell her, dear?
Why, I'm...
Of course we must. Well, she's my dearest friend.
There's no need to tell me. I can guess. Why, it's written all over you. Oh, I'm so glad, Mr. Farrell. I'm sure you'll both be very happy.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
We have the most wonderful plans. We're going to travel. We're going into the world.
You've no idea what a lion you'll be, Mr. Farrell.
No, I suppose not. I have to... Excuse me, I have to go back to the inn now.
We'll see you for dinner, dear.
Yes.
We'll celebrate.
Yes, do.
However did it happen? I'll never know. I can scarcely believe it. It's wonderful, dear.
Dear Mrs. Hunter, your photograph is beautiful. Will I ever see the original? Not unless I find a new master. Am enclosing a snapshot of Mr. Farrell and me. The one on the right is me.
Nick, back. Pack up. We've got to get away from here at once.
What's happened, sir?
It's not going to happen, Leek. Now, pack up and don't ask any questions.
Oh, where are we going, sir?
Oh, I don't know. Anywhere away from here. Some place where they can't find me.
Nobody knows you in London, sir.
Huh? Perhaps you're right, Leek.
We could open up the old house.
For all these years?
Yes, no one would know you there, sir.
Right again, Leek. Who's that?
El Senor asked for the bill.
Yes, pay it, Leek, will you? No one to know the bill either, you understand?
Si, Senor.
No one.
Si, si.
Give us something extra, Leek.
Here, Rita. Take care of the servants.
Oh, wonderful.
We'll be back.
You think of me, s'accordar de mi,
Always,
porque mi...
always.
Oh, chérie.
All that muttering out there. Get on with your packing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mi retrasate pronto enseguida porque yo debo esperar.
I found the doctor 3 doors off. He'll be here in a minute.
You ought not to have gone out without your coat, sir. We don't want you to catch cold, too.
Oh. Here.
Your dressing gown, sir?
No. We must get you to bed at once. You think you can make it up one flight to my room?
Me?
Yeah.
In your bed, sir?
Oh, don't be silly. Come on, I'll help you.
Oh, I hate to be such a nuisance.
Come on.
I hate to be such a nuisance. I hate to be such a nuisance, sir.
You'll be all right in the morning. It's just a cold. Back we come. When I mentioned this address, the doctor gave me a most peculiar look.
Is this Mr. Farrel's house?
Come on up. Say, Leek, we're discovered. Good evening, Doctor.
Good evening. How long has Mr. Farrel been ill? I asked you, how long has your master been ill?
Oh, yes, well, he began to complain when we got off the boat this morning. What's wrong, do you think, Doctor?
I don't know yet. Might be anything. Bring me some boiling water at once.
There isn't any.
You have water, haven't you?
Yes, but not boiling.
Well, never mind. I'll get a plaster. I'll bring my assistant.
Thank you.
Get his clothes off. Have you brandy?
Yes.
Well, get it. Be of some use here. This is serious.
My poor Leek, he takes you for me.
We ought to tell him.
Not at all. It'll save me a lot of that infernal curiosity. Now, come on. Let's get some of these clothes off, huh?
I hate to be such a nuisance. Sir.
Where is the brandy, Leek?
In my small bag, sir.
The temperature 104.5. Pulse 140 in a week. We'll try an injection of strychnine at once.
Can I help? Can I do anything?
You see that chair?
Yes, I see it.
Well, go and sit in it.
I say, where's that brandy?
What?
The brandy. The brandy.
Oh.
Isn't that it there?
Yes, yes. Yes.
Has he any relatives?
Oh, I don't know.
They should be notified at once.
Huh? What is it? What's the matter? What is it, Doctor?
It's all over, my man.
Oh, but it can't be. He was a perfectly strong, healthy man.
Precisely. It's not unusual for strong, healthy men to go off suddenly from acute double pneumonia.
But it's impossible. I don't know what I'll do without that man.
Look here, you don't seem to be much use here. I'll notify the registrar.
Register?
We have to report Mr. Farrel's death, you know.
Okay, Doctor, I'm afraid there's been some mistake.
What?
You see,
Now listen to me, my man. There's been no sort of mistake. Everything's been done that could be done.
But
You're all done up. You need some rest. I'll be back in the morning.
But, Doctor!
Yes, Doctor? What's that? What time? Where? Pneumonia? Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you. Priam Farrel's dead.
Priam Farrel's dead.
Priam Farrel's dead. Right away. Yes, Vincent. Yes, take it. All the leading patient. Yes. Bring me the Farrel phone. Yes.
Priam Farrel is dead.
Priam Farrel's dead. Priam Farrel's dead. Priam Farrel's dead.
Priam Farrel is dead.
Priam Farrel is dead.
Priam Farrel.
Leak, why don't you...
Took your time answering.
This is Mr. Duncan Farrel, the late master's cousin.
Where is the body?
Upstairs, first door. Leak. Leak. Your name's Leak, isn't it? This is for you. I picked it up at the door. See here, Leak. If I were you, I wouldn't try and get another balloting job.
I beg your pardon?
You may have suited Priam Farrel. Art is strange, but I don't believe you'd suit an ordinary employer.
Thank you. Did you recognize your cousin?
I haven't seen him since he was 12 years old. But I think I may safely say I should have recognized him anywhere. I shall treasure this as a memento. His shroud, as it were.
Well, I'll be going.
What arrangements have you made?
None. I've been asleep.
You're not very respectful.
Okay, now, that dressing gown belongs to me.
Oh, so you're starting to claim things, are you? We'll soon put an end to that. Pigsty.
Now, what you're doing is painting things.
Oh, so you're a painter too, are you? Now, see here, Leek. I fancy you and I had better come to an understanding at once. What salary did my cousin pay you?
£100 a year.
When were you last paid?
Let's see,
Well?
Oh, the day before yesterday.
Here's £8 in lieu of notice.
Yes, but listen,
Take it.
But I want to tell you...
Take it. Now, pack up and get out of this house as soon as you can.
But I'm not...
I shall not argue. Are his papers here?
Yes.
Where's the key?
Yep. There's something I want to tell you.
No doubt. No doubt. Ah. Here's his will.
Oh, that's still there? I thought it had been destroyed.
Do you know what it says?
Everything is left to England for the establishment of a new gallery. And you get £5 for your trouble as executor.
Yes, I see. Well, he probably thought I should be annoyed.
He did.
Well, my man, the idea of a great public institute bearing my family name is not unpleasant to me.
But he meant it as a joke.
I don't see why you complain. You come into £80 a year under it.
Yes, I was forgetting about that.
I never saw such a disrespectful servant in my life. Now, get your things together and go.
Yes, sir.
Whose luggage is that?
Mine.
Yours, indeed. Are your initials P.F.?
Oh.
Have you a latch key?
You have all the keys.
I'll notify you about the funeral. Where will you be stopping?
Grand Babylon Hotel.
The man's mad.
This is the Grand Babylon, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
When do you plan to go there? Gentlemen, one night. Yes, we notify you.
Mr. Leek. Well, I suppose you are Mr. Leek, aren't you?
Oh, why, yes.
Oh, I really didn't expect you. Mr. Farrel being dead, I knew you'd be upset like.
How did you know he was dead?
How did I know? Why, it's been placarded all over London since early morning. Didn't you see?
No.
Oh, that shows how you must have been thinking. I was about to give you up.
Really?
Well, it's nearly 2 o'clock.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Excuse me. Will you take those bags upstairs? Shall we sit here?
It's nicer in the back. Was Mr. Farrel a good master?
Oh, very. Yeah. Won't you sit down?
Thank you. But I see you're not in mourning.
No, that is,
I don't hold with mourning myself. If you can't show respect without a pair of black gloves that the dye's always coming off of, it's grumbling against Providence, too. Not but what I don't think there's a good deal too much talk about Providence.
Oh, I quite agree with you, yeah.
I suppose you'll have to be going back soon to arrange things like...
Oh, no. No, I've been dismissed.
I hope you made them pay you your money.
Oh.
Who dismissed you?
Mr. Duncan Farrell. He's a fool.
Why?
Wouldn't let me keep my dressing gown. Thought I was trying to steal it.
That kind.
And it was a beautiful dressing gown, really. Yes, and then there was something very important I wanted to tell him, and he wouldn't let me.
But how could he stop you?
Cut me off like that.
Perhaps you really didn't want to tell him. You could write him, you know.
No, I won't write him.
Then you didn't want to tell him.
Perhaps you're right.
And if I were you, I should think no more about it.
You're a great comfort, Mrs.
Alice is all right.
Alice, yes.
And you've no occasion to be shy with me. There's no call for it. I'm just as you see me.
Shy? Oh, I don't feel shy with you.
That's all right, then. Because I should take it as a poor compliment being shy with me. You know, I think a matrimonial agencies are very good and useful, don't you?
Well, yes, I suppose, yes.
Because if you are thinking of getting married, well, what are you to do? You could sit in a chair and wait till eggs are 6 a dozen and you'd be no nearer. No. If you want to get married, you want to get married. There's no use pretending you don't. I do hate pretending. And if you ask me, matrimonial agencies are the most useful things ever invented. Next to dress shields.
Alice, you're priceless. Look, will you have lunch with me?
Oh, if you have time.
I have so much time.
If anything comes of this, I shall pay the fee to the agencies with the greatest of pleasure. So that was the end of it.
Well, I think it would be.
You are like your photograph.
Like my photograph?
I knew you at once.
May I see it?
Oh.
Thank you.
I love it.
The one on the right is me.
If it isn't rude to ask, Mr. Leek, why did you always typewrite your letters? It seems so public.
You see, I write so badly.
Poor Mr. Farrel. What good did it do him to be so celebrated? Always trying to hide as if the police were after him.
After all, he had the pleasure of being successful in the work he liked best to do.
Well, but couldn't he have had that without chasing all over Europe? He might just as well have been a commercial traveler.
Alice, you're wonderful.
You can laugh, Mr. Leek. But believe me, there's nothing like a comfortable home and a quiet life. And the less you're in the newspapers, the better.
Right. Nothing like it indeed. He knew he was afraid of.
I can't imagine a person being afraid of anyone.
When I'm with you, I can't imagine it either. When I was with him, I understood it, though.
Poor man. He doesn't need to be afraid of anyone now.
Prime Farrel Day! Extra, Prime Farrel Day!
But you haven't told me whether you were ever married.
No, never.
You've always lived alone like that. No home, traveling, and no one to look after you properly.
Well, one gets accustomed to it.
I suppose so. But I feel sorry for you all these years.
A country garden.
A country garden.
That's what they're playing.
Lovely, isn't it?
Have you a garden, Alice?
Yes, with a wall around. Was it only today we met?
Magic day.
And now I must be going.
Oh, please don't.
Oh, but it's late now. I must be getting back to Putney.
I'll see you home.
Oh, no, you poor dear. You're too tired. But we could walk to the tube.
Is it far?
Not very.
Oh, that's too bad. I wish we could take the music with us.
We can.
Here, I say, what's the matter with you?
Well, I suppose I was rather wonderful. I mean.
What is it?
Thanks.
You're Mr. Leake, I presume.
What of it?
I'm Horning of the Courier.
I'm Garvin of the Mercury.
Well, you've no right to intrude yourselves in here.
My paper's prepared to offer you £100 for your story on Farrel's eccentric life on the continent.
Eccentric life on the... Well, I'll be...
I'll write the article. All you have to do is sign it. You'll make it £125.
To sign an order for the fellow's execution.
150.
Or burning at the stake.
Can you tell me if Mr. Farrel had any notion that he'd be buried in the Abbey?
Buried in the Abbey? Why, it's preposterous.
Why preposterous?
I'd bury that fellow in the Abbey, England's sacred shrine, where only the great are buried. It's absurd.
Absurd? Do you know about his will?
He left everything to found a gallery of modern art in London.
Oh, so that's it. He's to be buried in the Abbey because he's a philanthropist, not because he's an artist. Oh, that's England all over. Yes, well, I won't have it. You'll not. No, I'll tell you something else. Farrel is not dead.
Not dead? Oh, what next?
I am Priam Farrel.
Oh.
Oh, get out.
Is he mad?
He must be. Nothing but a valet. He takes a suite in the most expensive hotel in London. Then he refuses £150. And now, bless me, if he doesn't think he's Priam Farrel. Get out.
He's been unusual, if you ask me.
Priam Farrel, indeed.
Must be stopped. Must be stopped. Someone should explain to the Dean of Westminster. Someone should...
Well?
Is Mr. Parker at home?
Mr. Parker? This is the Dean's house.
Oh, pardon me. I thought Mr. Tanner lived here.
Mr. Tanner? But you said Mr. Parker.
Did I? Forgive me, I'm a little confused.
Obviously.
But I say, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But the Abbey, oh, it's fantastic.
make that noise in here?
I'd no idea. I'd be so honored.
Who is it? Don't know him from Adam. You have no right to be here. Who are you? What's all this noise?
I've no idea. I've no idea.
They're waiting for you. Get him out.
No, stop. This is my funeral.
Shh, what are you doing?
No, I tell you, it's my funeral.
Please, not
It's an outrage. It's an outrage.
You asked for it.
Let go of me. I tell you, I am Priam Farrel.
Drunk, that's what he is. What's all this? He's been making a disturbance in the organ. He says he's Priam Farrel. Oh, is that so?
Let go of me, will you?
Easy, my lad.
What's all this?
Drunk and disorderly in the abbey.
I'm not drunk. I'm stunned. Officer, if you only knew what was going on in there.
Now, don't cry.
But what am I to do?
Well, first of all, if I was you, I should get a new hat. There, stop crying.
Oh, it's amusing.
Now, off with you.
Mr. Lee, come in. You're hurt. And you'll be needing a new hat.
That's what the policeman said.
Well, don't tell me you've been quarreling with policemen.
I tried to stop them burying that fellow in the abbey.
But why should you do that?
Because there's been a dreadful mistake.
There, you're all upset. Just a moment.
What will she think of me?
Do sit down.
No, but I tell you, there's been a dreadful mistake.
There.
Oh, but I must tell you, my real name is not Henry Leake.
Oh, isn't it?
No.
Well, what does it matter so long as you haven't committed a murder?
But my real name is Priam Farrel.
I thought that was your gentleman's name.
Well, the doctor thought Leake was me, and I tried to tell him, and he wouldn't let me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But can't you understand? I am Priam Farrel. I had a valet called Leake. He died, and they thought he was me.
You mean it's Henry Leake that's buried in the abbey?
Yes, of course, yes.
Well, if I were you, I should keep perfectly silent about it.
You don't believe me?
I shouldn't let it worry me. The best thing you can do is to forget it.
Doesn't believe me.
Give me your coat. Oh, I see your collar's coming fast. Well, let me, I can do it. You have two funny moles on your neck close together. That's good luck. There. That's better. I hope you're not thinking of taking another position immediately.
Position? No, of course not. No.
It's not necessary, you know. What with your legacy and my income from the brewery shares.
Brewery shares?
Yes. Father always said, keep your money in beer, Alice. Beer will never fail you in England. And he was right. Here, put this on. You'll be more comfortable.
Do you mean that you want to share your income with me?
What else?
And your home?
Why not?
Alice, you're wonderful. You even remember the dressing gown.
I've wanted someone to look after a long while. Heaven knows you need it.
It'll be the beginning of a new life.
For all the tearing around you've done.
Why, I'll be a different person.
At least you'll have peace and comfort.
Oh, no, it's too fantastic. I'll bring no end of trouble on us.
No more than we can take care of.
I've been born again.
That does sound a bit religious. Your milk will be boiling over.
I say, Alice, it is lovely here. Perhaps I have died and gone to heaven.
Drink this.
I do.
I do. Want anything else, love? What are you reading that's so interesting?
Oh, Priam Farrel's Princely Bequest. New gallery of modern art started. Foundation stone laid, eulogies and so on.
So, they've begun it. It's taken them long enough.
A year. You know, it is true.
What's true?
I have died and gone to heaven.
Silly.
And I've got something to show you.
What?
Close your eyes and follow me.
I'm following.
Eyes closed.
Tight.
See nothing.
I smell something. It's paint. Oh, I know. You're painting the bathroom chair.
Bathroom chair, indeed. Now turn around. Open your eyes. There.
Oh. Did you do that?
Yes. How does it strike you?
Well, I'm sure it's very beautiful, but what is it? Is that the bridge?
Yes, dear, but don't go any nearer.
Well, if you don't want me to see it close.
And you can't take a picture like snuff, you know.
What's that red streak behind there?
There? That's the railway bridge.
Oh, so it is. Now, if you were to put a train on it, then people would be sure. I suppose you learned to paint from your...
Pretty good, you know. In fact, it's devilish good. Old fellow would have got 800 pounds for the like of that.
It's wonderful how wonderful people become after they're dead. Oh, there's the postman. Excuse me. I'm sure it's very wonderful, dear.
By Jove, I can paint. Poor Alice, she will think me mad.
Here's a bit of news.
What is it?
My brewery shares. We shan't get a penny this year, not 1 penny unless there's been some mistake.
Yes, sir, or madam. No. Been no mistake. The brewery is done for, in fact.
This would have been a great surprise to Father. Well, whether we get anything or not, I've got pastry to make. Well, you can look. I'm not worrying. I've no patience with worrying.
No, I don't want you to worry. Alice, I can always take care of you.
If you think I'm going to let you go into another situation, you're mistaken.
No, I wasn't thinking of that.
Then what were you thinking?
Oh, I
Because
don't know.
those things they advertise, homework, envelope addressing, and selling gramophones on commission, they're no good, you know.
Look here, Alice. I can sell that picture and anything else that I paint.
Please, please don't bother about money. I won't have you bothering.
Why, Alice, you're crying, darling.
Yes, only because I think it's so awfully nice of you, wanting to help like that.
You darling.
Another beauty, Mrs. Lee.
Isn't it?
This'll make Mr. Cohen's eyes pop. I told him he'd have to pay £15 for the next one.
It's nice of you to handle these for me, Mr. Simmons, but I wish you'd take a commission.
No, indeed. Mr. Cohen always buys a frame, and that's payment enough.
You are kind.
And how is Mr. Lee?
Very well, thank you.
Marvelous. He can make money like this.
And it's so easy for him. A few hours and it's done.
Someday he may be famous.
Oh, I hope not. He wouldn't like that.
Wouldn't he now?
Not in the least.
Well, as they say, it takes all kinds of people to make a world.
Whoever said that was more than right, Mr. Simmons. More than right.
He was, Mrs. Leake.
He was indeed, Mr. Simmons.
Isn't it a beauty?
How much?
I told you the last time. The price has gone up. It's £15.
£60, Feinberg.
All right.
Where did you get this?
That's my affair.
It's good enough, but it's unsigned. Unknown painters are hard to sell, you know.
Not that one.
How much do you want for it?
£100?
I'll risk that much. I'll send you a check.
Thank you, Mr. Oxford.
And, Feinberg.
Yes, sir.
You might send me any more of this fellow's things you get.
I'll see what I can do.
Here's a mystery.
What's that, sir?
Well, don't you recognize the painter?
No, sir.
This is a Priam Farrel.
Well, how can that be, sir? We've bought up all the Farrel.
We thought so. But there's no doubt this is a Farrel. Take a cable to Mr. Witt. Have found another Farrel. Unusually fine example. Painting unsigned, but I will guarantee it. I'm sending it to you tomorrow. Oxford.
Lovely.
Loveliest thing I've ever seen.
Silly.
It is silly to be in love with one's wife.
And your wife is silly, too.
No, my wife is wise.
My poor dear, I know so little.
She knows how to live, and that's everything. And you've taught me.
Well, it's the thing we do most of, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm painting better than I ever did.
Your last picture brought £50. Think of it. It's like a fairy tale.
Yes, it is. Oh, one of your tradesmen.
They know better than to come to my front door.
Well, I have to go to work. In any case, they have to be paid, you know.
Is this Mr. Leake's house?
Yes?
Could I see him? It's about pictures.
Well, would you come in?
Thank you.
Henry, here's a gentleman come to see you about pictures. Won't you sit down?
Thank you. Good afternoon, Master.
Good afternoon.
I've been buying some things of yours, and I've traced them, not without difficulty, to the picture framer's shop here.
Yes, that's where I sell Mr. Leake's pictures for him.
I called to see if by chance you'd anything more for sale. Pardon me. May I look?
Oh, do.
It's a masterpiece, madam.
Yes, it is rather pretty when you come to look at it.
If you'd care to consider, say, £500?
£500? Why, Henry, that's marvelous.
I came prepared to spend, if you'll kindly count these.
Well, I'm too dizzy to count them. I never did understand this art business.
How did you do it, Mr. Farrel?
Do what?
Escape from the Abbey.
What's that?
I saw Priam Farrel buried in the Abbey.
So did I.
And now I'm talking to him.
Alice, you see what comes of admitting strangers.
Do you mind telling us who you are?
Oxford, of Parfit's Galleries. Quite so. Your old dealer, Mr. Farrel.
And so what makes you think I'm Priam Farrel?
That and the other pictures that I've bought.
My style is entirely different from Farrel's.
You tried to disguise your brush, but your signature's in every stroke.
Mr. Oxford, I must ask you to say nothing to anyone about this mad idea of yours. It'll be devilish awkward.
I'm afraid I shall have to ask you to state publicly that you're Priam Farrel.
Publicly? Why?
I've been selling some of your paintings to Mr. Witt of Pittsburgh with my guarantee that they're genuine Farrels.
You've no right.
Mr. Witt has discovered a date on the back of one of the canvases, and that date is after your death. You see the fix?
Yes, it's your fix.
Well,
Mr. Witt's bringing suit against me for fraud. My reputation's at stake. I shall have to insist upon your going into the witness box.
Me in the witness box? A public cross-examination? No, 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 I tell you it's unthinkable,
I'll have to ask you to go, Mr. Oxford. And here's your money. We can't be under obligation.
But I bought this picture. I must insist upon having it.
Very well, take it, but you must pardon us. I can't have my husband upset.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Farrel. Good day, Master.
You can find your way.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Now we're in for it. I told you I'll bring down trouble on us. If he tells that I'm Farrel, I'll never face it. Reporters, publicity,
There now, dear, you mustn't get all on wires again. Come, I'll fix your tea.
Oh, Alice, your faculty for remaining calm is amazing.
Well, somebody has to keep calm.
You don't seem to care tuppence whether I'm Priam Farrel or not.
Well, what does it matter to me who you are, so long as you're you? You can be the Shah of Persia if you like.
But I am Farrel. Honestly, I wish I wasn't. But I am.
Bless you, love. It doesn't matter. Come. But that isn't what you said in the first place.
On the contrary, that's exactly what I said.
Oh, what a memory you have.
Huh?
Cake?
Yes.
Marmalade?
No, dear.
Who could that be? This Mr. Henry Leeks, sir. What is it you wish?
We were determined to get in, and in we've got. John, shut the door.
Yes, Henry.
Now, Mother, don't put yourself about. Where is Mr. Henry Leek?
There you are, Henry. After 25 years, think of it. I'm his wife, ma'am, the rightful Mrs. Henry Leek, and these are my sons who have come with me to see that I get justice.
What does it mean? What does it mean?
I think you'd all better come and sit down. There. Will you? And which of you boys had the idea to keep a middle-aged woman perishing on the doorstep?
Now, Mother, don't give way.
I think we'd all better have tea.
Now, Mother, do you recognize this man as your husband?
Yes. It's a rare long while.
You're sure he's your husband and our father?
Yes, and sorry I am to say it.
Never saw her before in my life. I never saw her.
He married me just 25 years ago, and a month after our twins were born, he just walked out of the house and left me. And never a word of explanation.
I never saw her in my life. I never saw her.
Then how do you explain this marriage certificate, sir?
Do you really recognize my husband?
Your husband, madam?
He's the same sort of man, and got the same eyes.
Now, Mother, don't give way.
Do you remember, Henry, how you said you wouldn't be married in a church, not for anything? But it's strange our sons should both be curates. And now, this dreadful scandal.
You may shrug your shoulders, but you can't shrug us our distance. Here we are, and you can't get away from us. You're a bigamist, sir, a deserter of women. Heaven only knows.
Sugar?
Two, please. Two, please.
One, please.
And how did you happen to find us out at last?
Through an advertisement in the paper put into that Mr. Oxford.
I need not say, madam, that you have all our sympathy.
You mean me?
I repeat, madam, you have our sympathies. You are not his wife. You can never be his wife. You're living in the same house with him under circumstances which I hesitate to name the situation in plain words. No, I'm afraid...
Would you please hand this to your mother?
Oh, John, you always wear so clumsy. And a clean cloth, too.
Oh, don't mind, please. Dear, will you run into the kitchen and bring me something to wipe this up with?
Yes, dear, of course. Immediately, huh? Yes, there.
He's gone.
He's gone.
Who?
Father.
I'm afraid so.
Does he mean to come back?
I'm afraid not. There's not the slightest use trying to drive him. He can only be led. You see, he's rather peculiar.
Who knows better than I that he's peculiar?
He has his good points. Far be it from me to say anything against him. He's often very good to me, but... a cup of tea, Mr. John.
You don't mean to tea, One morning when I was ironing, he snatched the hot iron and...
Don't. I know because I've been through.
You don't mean to say that he threatened you with
His threatening were only all.
Then he's not changed in all these years. He was always so queer.
Queer. That's it. Queer. I don't think he's quite right in the head. I never wake up in the morning, but what? I don't think maybe today they'll put him away.
Put him away?
Yes, in Hanwell or whatever asylum it is they put them in. Would you please pass the cakes?
Did you say asylum?
Yes. And you have his blood in your veins. Another cup of tea.
Yes, ma'am, if you please.
I think I ought to tell you that this is my house and my furniture. He has nothing at all.
Oh, is that so?
Many a blow he's laid on me in anger, but all the same I pity him. Maybe these two strong young men will be able to do something with him, but I doubt it. He's very strong, and he has a way of leaping out at you sudden-like. I was that relieved when he left the house just now.
He ought to be prosecuted for bigamy. That's what ought to be done, most decidedly.
Quite right, that would only be justice, but then, of course, he'd deny he's this same Henry Lee.
But he is, I'm sure of it.
No doubt you could prove it. But the trouble with these law cases, they're so expensive. What with private detectives and that sort of thing.
Yes, that's very true.
And, of course, there'd be the scandal. Oh, don't mind me. I'm innocent, but I don't know how it would suit you, Mr. John and Mr. Henry, as clergymen, to have it known that your own father was in prison.
I don't know that we'll be able to avoid it. This Mr. Oxford's lawyers are already in communication with the police.
Oh, I see. Well, in that case, we're all in for it. I better get some hot water. Excuse me.
We'd better clear out of this. We can go by the front door before he comes back.
I didn't want to come in the first place.
Now, Mother, don't give way. Don't give way.
Oh, must you go? Henry? Henry? It's all right, they've gone. Henry!
Gone?
How you startle me. Yes, ages ago. And where have you been?
Walking.
In the fog, without hat or coat. You'll be down with pneumonia. Here, get these wet things off. Sit here by the fire.
Don't scorn me.
Oh, it isn't even hard.
It is hard. Mrs. Leake won't want me if I lose my feet.
Poor soul.
And those two stout lads, my sons. What about them? How'd you get rid of them?
By kindness.
You know, if Oxford has begun advertising for me, he'll never stop until he gets me into court.
Well, what will be, will be. And we won't worry about it. It's not hard.
Alice, you don't really believe that I ever married that woman, do you?
If there's one thing I'm sure of in this world, it's that you were never married to anyone before you married me. That I will swear to. Here. Oh, it isn't hard.
It is, darling.
It is not.
Oxford, please. Priam Farrel is alive.
Farrel alive?
Farrel alive? Farrel alive. With the American millionaire who's taking Oxford to court. Charges Oxford was selling him Farrel's, painted after Farrel's day. Get Oxford.
Yes.
Examine Farrel. Yes, sir. Get Farrel's balance. Yes,
You have been an avid collector of Farrels, have you not?
For a number of years.
Were you at all surprised or suspicious when you began receiving unlisted Farrels after Mr. Farrel's death?
Surprised, but not suspicious.
What first aroused your suspicion?
Quite by accident, one day I noticed the canvas maker's imprint on the back of one of the pictures, and it was dated.
What was the date?
1932.
That was 2 years after Priam Farrel's death.
Exactly.
How many Farrels in all did you buy from Mr. Oxford since Mr. Farrel's death?
7.
And you believe them all to be fictitious?
I believe them all to be fakes.
What did you pay for?
£11,000.
Is this the picture that was dated?
Yes.
Is that the mark you?
Yes.
Gentlemen, you see the date.
1932. 1932. 1932.
Less than a month after the twins were born, he left me.
Is that your husband? That gentleman sitting on the end there?
It is.
Weren't you in doubt when you first saw him?
It's all come over me since. Shouldn't a woman recognize the father of her own children?
She should.
It's ridiculous. Priam Farrel was a gentleman. This valet is a lout. I knew that the moment I set eyes on him. I packed him off at once.
This fight with your cousin when you were children. Tell us what occurred.
Well, we fought.
Oh, you fought. What did you two naughty boys fight about?
About a plum cake, I think.
And what was the result of this savage encounter?
I remember tearing half his clothes off.
Ah, are you sure you remember that?
Yes. I remember now that my cousin had 2 moles on his neck, just below the collar.
Can you describe these adornments?
One was hairy, one was plain.
So, after this correspondence with Mr. Leake, you met Mr. Farrel, thinking he was Mr. Leake,
Yes.
and married him.
Yes.
So he deceived you.
No, he told me he was Priam Farrel.
Then you knew all the time.
Well, the poor dear wasn't well, and I thought he was imagining things. It was silly of me.
When did you first come to believe he was Farrel?
The day Mr. Oxford came.
The day Mr. Oxford paid your husband £500.
Yes.
Was it the money that induced you to change your mind?
You're very rude.
Answer the question, please.
I wouldn't have had my husband ragged by such vicious people for the Bank of England.
These are genuine Farrel, because...
I see.
These are fictitious Farrels, because...
I see.
Genuine Farrel.
Fictitious Farrels. Genuine Farrel. Fictitious Farrel. I see.
Say your name is Priam Farrel?
Yes.
You have been known as Henry Leek?
Yes.
Which are you?
Both.
How can you be both?
Oh, none of this interests me in the least.
Please answer the question.
It's all very stupid.
Question, please.
Who cares who I am? Question, please. I have no more of this. It's ridiculous. Question, please. I have better things to do.
You are at work on a masterpiece, no doubt.
Oh, some oaf will think it a masterpiece, no doubt.
When did you meet Mr. Oxford?
Oh, he's been my dealer for many years.
When did you meet him?
Some weeks ago.
When he discovered you were Farrel?
Yeah.
Was there a passage of money on this occasion?
£500.
When he paid you £500, you decided you were Farrel.
He paid me £500 for a picture.
And you discovered you were Farrel.
He discovered it.
You didn't know it.
Farrel is buried in the Abbey. I wish you'd let him rest there.
Will you answer the question?
Why put people in the Abbey if they're to be dragged out again? What's the good of the place?
He's mad. He's mad. He's mad. He's mad.
Why must you torture him?
Will you answer the question?
Why must you torture him?
Forgive me, Alice. I'm not being tortured. It's all too comic.
Order, please.
Will you answer the question?
I am Priam Farrel. I've nothing more to say.
Have you two moles?
Yes.
Where are they?
On my neck, just below the collar.
Will you indicate the spot? Perhaps you will remove your collar and show the moles to the court.
No.
You would prefer doing it perhaps in his lordship's room?
No.
But surely.
I won't do it anywhere, my lord.
But the law?
There is no law that can make me take off my collar.
Must be a law. Must be a law. But the trial cannot proceed unless you remove your collar.
It's not my trial.
Oh, but it is. You may be put in Holywell for bigamy.
I fancy at Holywell they've a short method with people who won't take off their collar.
Ah, England, in order to prove she has a great artist, arrests him for bigamy and shoves him into prison. Very characteristic.
Quiet, dear. Now, Mr. Oxford, do you think my husband entitled to some part of the £11,000 Mr. Witt paid you for his pictures?
I'll gladly turn all of it over to him. Less a reasonable commission.
Well, that's fine of you, Oxford.
You won't touch their wretched money, not a penny.
I wouldn't dream of asking you to, dear. I shall touch it.
Huh?
Now, gentlemen, if you wouldn't mind leaving us alone a moment.
Certainly,
Mr. Farrel.
Now, love, we must be sensible. I don't care if they don't think you an artist, but I won't have them thinking you a bigamist and dragging you off to jail.
They wouldn't dare, would they?
I'd put nothing past them.
Huh?
Come, darling. Show the gentleman your moles, and we can go along home.
Must I?
Won't be long.
Oh. Gentlemen, my mole.
The moles! The moles! The moles! Order, please!
Congratulations.
Order, please!
Congratulations.
I wonder what our new name will be. Mr. and Mrs.
Oh, as if that mattered.
We'll miss our garden.
We'll find another garden.
Dear Alice.
Dear Henry, you'll always be Henry to me. Nothing could change that. What are you thinking?
I'm wondering where they'll bury me the next time.